What's up, everybody?
Hey, hey, hey! Good to be back, baby.
Good
What I'm
to
talking about.
be back.
It has been a minute. Oh, fuzzy camera. Come on.
Yeah, it has.
Every time we got to deal with that.
Not intentionally.
No, I know, right?
We
Oh, man.
we definitely may have not recorded the VOD section of audio.
Yeah, so this is a
For the last
rehashing of episode 12. This is episode... we should have called this episode 12.2.
Oh, we should have.
Episode 12.2.0 or something like that.
12
Yeah,
V2.
because... Yeah, so we're back at it again with the dozen.
Yep.
Ye
last
old
one was-
dozen eggs.
You tuned in on Twitch last time. It was a fucking banger podcast, too.
It was great.
We did a
Yeah,
really
we
good
just
one.
couldn't really upload it to YouTube because we didn't really save it.
Yeah.
Or there was no audio. I forget what it was.
There was no audio. Oh, there was tons of video.
Yeah.
Plenty of it. Plenty of it was zero audio. And that happened on my other Twitch channel and everything. It just had a weird setting that changed for some reason one day.
Yeah. Okay. So, did we ever figure out exactly how that boiled down? We discovered
Yes.
what the issue was, but we never quite figured out why it got switched.
Well, I
Which was kind
clicked
of strange.
I clicked that what's that? Hey, Wubba.
What you munching on?
Beef stick. The mouth of meat.
Attaboy. No, meat in your mouth.
Meat in my
Gotta love
mouth. Yum. Yeah, but it was a setting that I accidentally clicked on when I optimized my Twitch. Or my Streamlabs. So
Gotcha.
we should be good now. I would assume.
Well, yeah, and we got a good one lined up for us today.
Mhm.
We're sticking with the themes. We are going with a beer themed tonight.
Yeah.
And also you are we are field testing your new Steam Deck, right?
Yeah. It's worked pretty
And
nice already.
We're gonna find out just how much easier that makes us transitioning from slide to slide. Speaking of which, you may also have noticed we are trying something new here with a slide design.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our daily topics that are a little bit easier to read now. Also, starting next week, super excited. We are going to be introducing a new topic. This was something we've been talking about for a while, and we finally got some viewer input
Mm-hmm.
about adding a topic called Devil's Advocate.
Yeah. And Echo
Devil's
said it was going to be.
Advocate.
Echo said it was a great idea. It'll be more
Yeah.
serious than our.
Yes.
It'll still be debate. It'll be more serious, but we came to the conclusion after some deliberation between Oleary and I on what would be best. The end of the month, we'll have a debate, a legitimate debate. But it'll be a topic we both agree on. A pretty serious one, is what we're going for now. Until we run out of serious ones. And you guys won't know what our views on that topic are. But we're gonna flip a coin at the beginning of the month. Maybe should we announce it the first podcast of the month, saying we're gonna do this one at the end of the month?
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Yeah, we'll announce it the first podcast of the month or whatever our first podcast comes out that month.
Yeah. The idea being is that you as the listeners are going to know ahead of time which one of us is arguing for and which one of us is arguing against for this particular topic.
Mhm.
However, what we don't want the listener to know is what side of the opinion that we actually truly fall under.
Correct.
That part will remain a mystery, and if we do it right, if we play our cards right,
It should remain a mystery.
correct.
And
So the idea behind this, this was our original intent behind this new section, was to get us to think from the other perspective, right? Because most of the time we get into an echo chamber of only ever talking about particularly touchy subjects with people who share our particular beliefs about said subject. So this will be an exercise for us to kind of train ourselves to come up with arguments from the other side, for a couple reasons. This is dual purpose here. One of them is, like I said earlier, to get us thinking outside the box, outside of our normal. But then the other one is to kind of poke at the other person's argument and see how well their argument actually holds up. You know what I mean?
And this will
Jones,
be
you
this
used
will
to
be
do that
researched
to me all the time.
Oh,
yeah.
This is so where we got this from originally. We've talked about this in the past in prior podcasts. And really where debate this came from originally. The reason we even had a debate topic, because we used to do this back in the dorms. And Oleary and I would have arguments about stuff, and I would always take the devil's advocate. Just because I'm really good at bullshitting. I'm a top class bullshitter. And it's good to have someone there, you know, to kind of sharpen your blade. We both believe in the same fucking thing.
That's the idea.
But how interesting the conversation that we're just stroking each other off on, you know, like, ooh, we both agree. That's a great conversation.
That echo chamber that I mentioned, yeah.
So it's a good way. It's a good thought experiment. And in the past, honestly, some of my views haven't fully changed. But there's some things that I've maybe changed a little bit of my view on just by having arguments. Whether it was something that Oleary brought up or something that I brought up. I'm sure Oleary has been like, oh, that's actually a pretty good point every once in a while.
Well, a lot of times what I took away from it was on any given subject, this as soon as you start getting into the apologetics of stuff, you find out what sections or individual topics you're lacking on as far as a baseline understanding, right? Because it's kind of hard to argue things that require statistics, right, if you don't know the statistics behind the argument. So I think a lot of good that came out of this, especially for me, was when, Jones, if you're poking holes in my argument, I find out where the holes in my argument are.
And you can see if they're legitimate holes in the actual...
Exactly.
Because sometimes there's a legitimate
hole
in the actual argument.
Sometimes there's a legitimate issue within the argument itself, or it's simply just a breakdown in my understanding. And a lot of if that's the case, then cool. I can do a little bit more research. I come back stronger and I fortify my opinion on this issue. Or what's slightly less common of the case is your opinion changes.
Yes. Or maybe not wholly changes either, but it'll go like, I believe X strongly. And I don't give a fuck what Y says. Y is absolutely wrong. But sometimes you go, Y brings a legitimate, educated opinion to you. And you go, okay, well, I get where you're coming from on that. And it's which is what politicians should fucking do. Then you can have an argument of meeting in the middle going, okay, I really strongly believe all of this. I really strongly believe all of this. What's really the best thing? You know, is the best thing only having one fucking right way? Or is the best thing going, okay, a lot of my arguments are good. A lot of my arguments are good. We can meet in the middle this way to formulate the best course of action to fix this problem. And that's the most I got out of it was that.
Right. So, like we said, we are going to introduce this section or this topic, Devil's Advocate. We're going to do it next week.
Yep.
It is going to take the place of Debate This. And what we're going to end up doing is that... How we doing, Echo? You're going to love this, Echo, because this was pretty much your idea. The last podcast we do per month will be a Devil's Advocate replacing Debate This. Right? So the first 3 podcasts we do, 2 or 3 in any given month, will be our regular Debate This, where we talk about goofy shit, right? And we have a good time doing it. This week we've got a good one lined up. I'm kind of excited about this
Strong opinion one too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And here's my opinion right here.
And there's mine.
We'll get into that later. If the title of our video hasn't already told you what we're doing. So we finally fleshed out this idea. We've been toying with how we wanted to go about actually doing it in a way that's sustainable, and doesn't burn us out
and entertaining too.
Right, because we do have to factor we have to consider the entertainment factor. And this is what we came up with. So like I said, next week we're gonna experiment with Devil's Advocate for the first time. We're doing some slight slide redesigns to accommodate this new section. I'm excited to unveil those once we get it fixed. So Jones, what's new with you?
You know?
Oh, do you want to say something there?
Offer promotion. Get the fuck out of our chat, you piece of shit. With me, sorry guys, there's the guy promoting bullshit in our chat. A bot probably. No, I was gonna say it's in our current society where everyone, for whatever reason, you're all human beings, believe what the fuck you want to believe. People stay in their echo chambers and only have one opinion. If they were to do this more, and just my opinion, it might solve a lot of problems. It might create healthy debate instead of yelling and screaming over each other and stuff like that. So I think it's a good. I really do think it's a good thing to get out once a month. It gives us one serious topic. That way, we're a pretty goofy couple of dudes. If you don't listen to us during that week because you don't believe we're educated enough or blah blah blah, don't fucking care. You do what you want to do. You're a grown person. But it's good to learn both sides of a story to formulate your own opinion on it. But what's new with me, it's been a couple weeks. Shit.
It has been a minute.
We just watched the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Yep. It ended on some fucking bullshit.
You and everybody else. That was a legitimate call.
That was not a holding call. That was not a pass interference call. That was not.
It wasn't a pass interference call. It was a holding call.
Well, that's even worse. I could see maybe.
A pass interference is half the distance to the goal. Holding is just a 10-yarder.
Well, it's a 5-yarder, but it was 5 and automatic first down. There. Ooh. Well, what that did is when it made it where it was 3rd down in 4.
Yeah, then it became first and goal. Right. Yeah.
With 1 minute and 45 seconds left, or something like that. They would have had to kick the field goal, and then with 2 timeouts still, because they hadn't spent their timeouts yet, Philly could have drove down and possibly won or tied the game. But maybe. It was that was actually, I'm surprised it's in a Super Bowl themed episode. That's actually
a good thing. In all fairness, we were originally going to record this 2 days ago. Yeah. But then life happened, and me being on a day's schedule for the last couple weeks doesn't exactly lend itself to recording super late at night like we normally do.
But my life has been pretty good.
So,
haven't really started a new class. It's about legal legal aspects of security, which is kind of fucking dry, but it's about our amendments. So it is what it is.
Yep.
I will say today, did you watch the national anthem by Chris Stapleton?
No, I missed it.
You got to go look that up. It's the most beautiful rendition of national anthem I've ever heard. It was phenomenal. People were crying in the sidelines and shit. It was so beautiful. What a fucking
I'm gonna have to look that up because I have a hard time believing that it was better than the Gaither vocal quartet.
Just go
when
listen to it.
When they sang the national anthem, that was one of the best ones.
The Chris Stapleton in general has so much emotion in his voice.
Yeah, he's a great singer.
He's phenomenal. What's been up with you?
Well, I am 2 weeks down for my TDY over to our CADM section, our Combat Arms section. For those of you who don't keep up with the acronyms, CADM is Combat Arms Training and Maintenance. These are the guys on an Air Force installation who are charged with training base pop and the security forces guys on how to shoot weapons, essentially. And a couple weeks ago, we got a tasker sent down from the AMC commander, the MAGCOM commander, and he said that based on the coming conflict, potentially, he wants everybody in AMC to go through a familiarization firing course, and said, go. We got no guidance, no time frame, and right. He wants literally everybody in AMC to do familiarization firing. So what we've been doing is we're doing a condensed version of our
so it's not a full course of fire.
No, it's 30 rounds.
Oh, that's easy.
4 5-round strings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 6 5-round strings from 3 firing positions, 3 magazines, and the classroom portion takes about a half hour. Range portion takes about 45 minutes, barring stupidity and weapons going down,
which is
pretty common.
Rampant.
Lots of stupidity. Yeah,
lots of stupidity.
Lots of stupidity.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been pushing 8 or 9 classes a day, 28 people per class for 2 solid weeks so far, and I've got 1 more week to go. I and 5 others were pulled from flight to do RSO training, which is your range safety official. These are the guys that are physically standing on the line behind the shooters, making sure stupid doesn't happen. And
you can only stop so much stupid, though.
So 6 of us are TDA from flight to CADM for these 3 weeks, so we can help push through literally everybody on base. Quite literally.
Yep.
And it's nuts.
That's good though. It's good.
I've got
training. And
stuff.
Yeah,
it's absolutely great training, and I enjoy doing it because I love weapons, and I'm trying to cross train to CADM anyway. So this is a great opportunity for me to show the CADM guys what I got as far as being an instructor, being able to do what I need to do on the range to fix weapons, as it were. So I'm getting some good hands-on experience. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to 1 more week of that, then I go back to work for a few days, and then I go on leave for a week. Super excited for that.
It'll be great.
It's always good when we go on leave.
Mm-hmm. You want to hop into some makes me think of?
Yeah,
get those
let's move on.
Going.
Let's get those gears a turning. All right, so for those of you who don't know, we introduced this topic 3 weeks ago, 3 episodes ago,
I think
2,
3.
3, something like that.
Well,
yeah,
now
so
I have no idea because we didn't record an episode.
So the way this little brain teaser / exercise works is Jones is going to start me off with a random topic, and that's going to make me think of 3 things in a row. So Jones, give me a random topic.
Super Bowl.
All right, so the Super Bowl makes me think of football, which makes me think of injuries, which makes me think of hospitals.
Hospitals make me think of surgery, which makes me think of hot nurses.
One more thing.
Oh, which makes me think of pain.
That's strange. Okay.
Well,
pain.
Who's had a catheter pulled out of their dick before?
That's fair.
One of us.
All right. Pain makes me think of the movie Major Pain, which makes me think of drill instructors, which makes me think of basic training.
Basic training makes me think of Johnson, which makes me think of wall lockers.
I know where we're going with this. Oh
which
my god!
Which makes me think of taps.
Oh my god! Okay, taps.
Hot nurses make you think of the game Silent Hill echo. Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, so taps makes me think of military funerals, which makes me think of my grandpa's funeral, which makes me think of the fact that it was on my birthday. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Was it? Shoot. I can't remember now. This was a long time ago.
Well, your birthday.
Yeah.
Makes me think of B-dubs. Because I think that's the place we went every single year for it.
No. We went to Montana Mike's. That was the very first one we all went to.
Oh, by the mall, right?
No.
Yeah, Montana Mike's was by the mall. Yeah.
And Pounders bought me a shot of gin.
Okay. It makes you think of Montana Mike's, which makes you think of Pounders, which makes me think of
that douche who can't buy a damn camera and become our first guest.
Which makes me think of
Borderlands. Oh, okay. Borderlands makes me think of sniping, which makes me think of the NATM course, which makes me think of Camp Guernsey. Let's do one more piece.
Guernsey makes me think of non-given opportunities, which makes me think of having to ride the desk, which makes me think of promoted.
Promotions makes me think of something I'll never get. Which makes me think of a girlfriend. Which makes me think of loneliness.
Oh god, I'll do one more to get us out of that. Loneliness makes me think of turkey. Turkey makes me think of Troy.
The movie or the place?
Well, the Battle of Troy happened in Turkey, which didn't know until I went over there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tons of shit happening over there.
You know where Constantinople is?
Mm-hmm. That's Istanbul.
Mm.
The capital.
Anyway. Yeah, okay, so, moving on.
Well, that also...
Not much of a segue.
No, I was hoping you're doing something to say top 5. But you know what that makes me think of?
Yeah.
The Stream Deck.
Top 5.
Oh, the Stream Deck, dude.
Boom. Oh no, we didn't swap this.
Oh no.
We need to fix our slide.
Shh. Everybody. Shh.
All right, so the top 5 of this week, while Jones is fixing our slide, is going to be our top 5 beers. Mm-hmm. Hence the theme of our podcast this week. We're doing beer themes. It should be pretty nice. It should be pretty interesting.
I'm an avid beer drinker.
Yes.
Not
one would say a connoisseur.
Yes, which is not good for my waistline. Especially since I've gotten out. But
it is what it is.
Also makes me happy.
True.
Beer don't make me sad. You know what? Who said it? Long neck, ice cold beers never break my heart. That's the fucking truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to change our title as well?
Son of a bitch. I'm fucking out of it today. What in the hell? There we go.
Oh shoot! I just realized I hadn't looked up any Darwin Awards.
Neither. We'll just skip that this week.
Okay, works for me.
Best beers.
Yeah, our favorite beers. All right. Yeah, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first this week?
You know what? I will go first.
All right, go ahead and hit it. What is your favorite beer?
So my favorite beer.
Founders, I'll bet, huh?
Close. There's a Founders beer in my list, but it ain't that one.
No kidding.
The best beer and the best light beer of all time.
Butt Wiper.
Fuck that shit. That tastes like piss water. Labatt Blue Light.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Them Canadians know how to make some fucking beer, dude. I tell you what. Molson's pretty good, but fucking Canadians up there know how to make some beer, bud. You know?
Oh my god. That's funny.
I love me some of that. It's so smooth. It has a little crispness on it.
Crispness or crispness?
Both. Because it's giving presents to my stomach and my taste buds. No, it's
gift that keeps on giving.
It's the best all-around light beer there is, by far.
Okay.
Not even close. What about you?
Hey, respectable choice. Respectable choice.
All right. I can guess yours off.
Mine, incredibly hard to find anymore. And in fact, I don't even know if they still make this. You're about to type it. I think you're right. All right, we're almost there. Okay, you're correct, but
it's the orange whatever one.
No, summer honey wheat. Yeah, I can't find this shit anymore, but it was the best. It added a little sweetness of honey to the already delicious Blue Moon, which is what I'm drinking right now. You can't see because of my badass koozie, but. Yeah, imagine a super smooth, delicious beer by itself, but with an extra sweetness of some honey in there. Oh,
when you would get those, I did enjoy those.
Oh my god, those were good. I can't find them.
Regular Blue Moon's to me.
No, regular Blue Moon is also amazing, especially if it's on tap. Drop that orange in there.
If you like Blue Moon, and this almost made my list. This was this close to make my list, but it didn't. Honorable mention. Oberon.
Oh yeah,
Oberons are the shit. It's like a Blue Moon, but like 1,000,000% better. Doesn't have that. The Blue Moon just has an aftertaste to me. It's a odd aftertaste. Really? Yeah, I don't know why.
So I think the orange mellows it out well enough.
No, the orange makes it good. That's what I'm saying.
The
summer honey wheat, I like that one a lot. That was good.
Yeah, the honey made it just that much better.
Anyway,
all right. What's your number 2?
You want to guess my number 2 there, O'Leary?
Founders Oatmeal Stout.
Ooh, close. What did I get
when
we went to jail?
It is Founders.
First time.
I thought that's what it was. No, Founders Breakfast Stout.
Founders Breakfast Stout.
There it is. That's right.
That shit. We're gonna do Be Fast Stouts. It is the best stout I've ever. I drink a lot of beer. A lot of beer. And I'll tell you right now,
that was the very first one you ever got with the very first time we went to JL Beers.
Yep.
Yeah. You started talking with Jesse.
Yep.
Who we found out later was the owner. And he gave you that Founders mug.
Which I have no idea where it is, actually. But yeah.
Really?
I have no idea where it is. It's probably
rough.
in a cup or cabinet somewhere in my parents' house. But yeah, it's smooth. It's rich. You can drink it with any meal, hence breakfast stout. So if you want to drink brunch, it's weird to find a beer that goes with eggs and sausage and stuff.
But that one
I'll go with it. The only slight I'll say, watch, it didn't get number 1 since I've lived in California. Stouts and dark beer, when it's really fucking hot out, not the play.
Do they get too warm, or does drinking a room temperature beer when it's hot out just not have the same effect?
Well, you're not going to go kayaking and drink a dark beer. I'll put it that way.
That's fair.
You drink light beers like a Leinenkugels or a Labatt Blue or a Blue Moon Summer Honey Wheat.
Right.
This is it's cold outside. It's a rich, dark, heavy beer. The good thing about stouts too, though, you can drink them, and the longer you take to drink it, the better the beer gets. Because when it's cold, it's delicious, but warm breakfast stout,
room temperature,
which is so strange to me.
That is a weird concept to drink something room temperature, and I didn't think I would ever like that until I started drinking wine. For example, red wine, especially the Stella Rosa stuff that I used to get all the time. I can't drink that stuff chilled. It tastes different.
I like it.
It's got to be room temperature.
Warm too, yeah.
Yeah.
What's number 2 for you?
All right. My number 2 is the classic regular Blue Moon. And the reason this is also up here is because 1, it's a completely separate beer. But 2, I drink this stuff all the time. This is my go-to because for a couple of reasons. 1, is readily available on the shelves, right, year round. And 2, it's on almost every restaurant's menu. Like almost any restaurant you go to, they have Blue Moon on tap.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, all of my top favorite restaurants, I can go in there and I can get a Blue Moon draft, which is so much better than Blue Moon in a bottle. Which, funny enough, is what I'm drinking right now.
That goes for most beers, I think. Honestly.
But the thing I like about Blue Moon, though, is in the bottle, is still pretty good.
Does Mike's Hard count as beer? Technically, no, I think
it's a hard cider.
It's a hard cider, yeah.
Hard cider or hard lemonade, yeah.
Because they have lemonade, right? Yeah. Which, honestly, I used to fuck up some Mike's Hard back in the day, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought they were all right.
I preferred Angry Orchard.
I did like the Angry Orchard, yeah. I like those reds.
Oh, no.
The
what
reds.
Was that can you used to get? It was like a Forge something.
Dude,
right?
Yeah.
What was it? What was it called?
Fuck. What was that called?
Smith and Forge.
Smith and Forge
hard cider.
Dude,
that stuff was good.
Echo,
in the big cans, too.
And anyone else, maybe you got a girlfriend or a wife out there that likes hard ciders, too. Get Smith and Forge hard cider.
Smith and Forge was
You're
fantastic.
fucking welcome. That best hard cider there is. All right. For me.
All right, what's number 3 for you? Let's hit it.
We're going to one I didn't know until I got to California. And it's right down the road, about 10 miles from my house. Maybe 12 miles. From Garage Brewing, called Mango Cart.
Mango Cart. Okay.
It's fucking good, dude.
Is it a light beer? Is it an IPA?
It's a light beer.
Okay. But fruit flavored.
It's mango. Yeah, a mango flavor. But it's not an overpowering mango. It's a perfect smooth, kind of like, how Blue Moon has that like
It's just a hint of orange.
It's a little thick too. Like the consistency of a Blue Moon.
Okay.
Is a little thicker than like a Bud Light or a Coors Light.
Did you say Blood Light?
Might as well be. It tastes like fucking blood. This shit's gross. If you guys are wondering, Bud Light's on the fucking bottom of my list. I hate that shit. It tastes like good old alien piss water.
Bud Light.
Yeah, Bud Light's gross. Yeah, but Mango Cart is fucking delicious. When you come out and visit California, I'll take you over to Old Garage Brew and get you a...
Hell yeah.
If I go out in California, that's my number one beer that I get anywhere I go. Is a Mango Cart automatically.
Hell yeah. All right, so my number 3, this was my go-to at JL Beers. Back in the day, this is where I discovered it. Boulevard Unfiltered Wheat, or Boulevard Wheat. Remember that one?
Boulevard Wheat.
Yeah.
That shit was actually really good, yeah.
It was good. It's really good. And the reason it's on number 3, for me, for a couple reasons. One, it's available year-round. It's usually right next to the Blue Moon in your grocer's case, because it's also a light wheat beer, low alcohol. But they designed a special glass bottle for it, which makes it taste really good. I don't know how that works, but it just works. And I've seen Boulevard Wheat on tap at a couple bars that I've been to, especially here in the Wichita area.
Okay.
So I like that it's available around. You know what I mean?
Speaking of availability, there's one that reigns supreme for me. I'm gonna, like, you know how college kids, when they get drafted, they put the hats on and stuff.
Oh God, here we go.
Give me a fucking Coors Light.
Good old Queers Light.
Give me a fucking Coors Light. Give me them Rocky Blue Mountains.
No, it's a Silver Bullet.
Well, it used to be the Silver Bullet, and then they came out with the cans. Yeah, I don't have a can.
Yeah, the cans are the Silver Bullets.
Yeah, but the can has the mountains. When it's really cold, the mountains glow blue on the can.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Give me the Rocky Mountain Blue. But
gotcha.
It's a good go-to, good taste in light beer.
Honestly, I prefer Coors Banquet.
Oh, well, I do too. I was going for... I drink Coors Light a lot, like more than any beer. And the reason I drink Coors Light a lot, you go to the store and you want to buy a bunch of beer for a party, right? You want to buy a 30 rack?
Yeah.
$15. Have it. You know what I'm saying? You go to a 30 pack of Labatt Blue, that bitch ain't $16. You want some breakfast style? You gotta buy fucking 5 of those bitches, and a 6-pack is $12. Mango Cart, you're not buying a 30 rack for $16. Coors Light's a good,
and
cheap.
And I think there is something to be said about a beer that's designed to taste good in a can. You know what I mean? Like craft beers,
and it's really good on tap too.
Yeah. But craft beers, it seems like there's more of a disparity between how good it tastes in tap and how good it tastes in a bottle.
That's a good point.
And I think Coors kind of meets right there in the middle.
And out of the top 3 major light beers, right? You can even say top 4 with Michelob Ultra, but Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Michelob Ultra. Those are your top 4 like mainstream light beers you can get. Bud Light tastes like piss water. Miller Lite's okay, but it doesn't have a whole lot of taste. I'm drinking right now because they have the least amount of carbs.
Right.
But they don't have any fucking taste. Michelob tastes fucking disgusting, but you drink it for the low carbs. So Coors Light, out of all the light beers, is the one that has the most like flavor, actual flavor.
It actually has some redeeming qualities.
Now another one. Didn't make the list either. Just another honorable mention. I drink some Busch Light lately. I always make,
Busch. Yeah,
I always make fun of Busch Light.
That's the most popular beer in Iowa, where I'm from.
I always made fun
Busch
of it
Light.
because they had fucking camo boxes and stuff. Busch Light's good, man.
It's pretty good.
It's a good light beer. I don't know. I'm sorry, but it is. All right, what do you got?
All right, my number 4. Okay, so this one is an interesting pick because it is an international beer. All right.
Okay.
I discovered this when I was in South Korea. It is a Korean beer called Hite. 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 It is a wheat beer, but it is also brewed with rice. So it's like I said, it's a wheat beer just with rice.
Okay.
And the barley and the hops and all that kind of good stuff, but it's a light beer that for some reason the rice just adds a really good flavor. And maybe this was a necessity thing when I was over there because I wanted to be able to drink beer, and some of the other stuff that they had wasn't very good. I don't know, but this stuff was actually really good, and I drank a shit ton of this when I was over there because you can't always just get schmammered on soju every night. Sometimes you got to take it easy, and Hite was the go-to, and every restaurant you went to had Hite. Because it's the Korean beer, right?
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah?
Because I was going to do Modelo as my 5th beer.
Mm-hmm.
So I like me a Modelo. I like a Modelo lime and stuff.
Okay.
Dude, in Turkey, they have this stuff called Bomonti.
Bomonti?
Holy fuck is it good, dude. Those Turks know how to make beer. The Bomonti factory is like really like a few miles away from the base that we were at. Try not to give too much. By Incirlik, right? And Adana. It was over there. Dude, Bomonti fucking, I'm glad you said that. I had forgotten about that beer because I hadn't been in Turkey.
Oh, so you changed your
I changed up my 5th for Bomonti.
Wow.
If you ever get a chance, they do a lot of fly-throughs to Turkey if you're going overseas. Especially if you're going like UAE and stuff like that, they can stop through Turkey.
We didn't.
Interesting.
When I was going there, we stopped in Bulgaria. Bulgaria was our last stop.
Interesting.
Before we went there. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a lot of people stop through Turkey in routes and stuff like that. If you ever get a chance to go to Turkey, go get yourself a Bomonti.
Okay.
It's a light beer. It's about 6%. They will fuck you up. I don't think they don't have the same like laws we do about beer and putting the actual percentage. I think those bitches are 10 to 12%. Because I would get, I'm a beer drinker, right? I'm a pretty big boy too, and I don't get drunk very, very fast. Those would fuck me up so hard, and they have delicious taste. They're the only light beer I've ever drank that you could go from cold to warm as a light beer, and it would get good. It was good when it was warm. The only beer I've ever had that was light that was like that.
Okay.
And they're just delicious. Overall, fucking delicious. I think it's the second most sold in Turkey behind Efes, but Efes tastes like it's like Turkish Bud Light to me. It tastes like piss water.
Right.
Yeah, but it's phenomenal.
Alrighty. Well, my last one is a Midwestern staple, especially if you're from Wisconsin. Yeah, Jones already knew. He already knew the New Glarus Spotted Cow. People drive from 3 states over just to stop at a 7-Eleven in Wisconsin and pick up a case of this shit. My uncle is one of them.
Yeah. Didn't you bring some back down for us once?
I can't remember how I procured some. Oh, Belcher.
Oh.
Yeah. When Belcher and his wife were coming back from visiting their family, was it for their wedding?
I don't remember, but they
I don't remember, but
Spotted Cow.
Yeah, they picked up some Spotted Cow for us. I remember that, and oh my gosh, that stuff is good.
I do remember the only
reason it's lower on my list is because of availability.
Yep,
and the fact that I haven't been able to drink very much of it.
Yeah, it's a hard one for me. If you can't, the only exception on my list right now is Labatt. You can't get it anywhere other than Michigan, it seems like, or Canada, obviously. But the availability is huge for me. That's why Coors Light's on there, because Coors Light really like a top 5 beer taste wise. No, I would probably put a stout over it or Founders Rubaeus.
Oh, the Rubaeus. Yeah, I remember that one. You used to drink that one a lot too.
But like that availability is key.
Yeah.
It is key. Yep. You got any honorable mentions you can think of?
Yeah, actually, the one dark beer that I ever actually enjoyed. This was another JL Beers. It was from Fifth Street Brew House. It was a breakfast stout. I can't remember what they called it, but it tasted like a cinnamon roll. It was so good.
Really?
It was a dark beer served in a 6-ounce sifter, just like your Founders. I remember this specifically because when I discovered this was the same time you were having your big beer fast and you weren't drinking beer, like, at all.
Oh, no.
So I never got a chance to introduce this to you.
Oh.
I remember this specifically.
I was on keto, right?
Yes. This is when you first started doing keto and you went off
keto.
beer. Yeah, you did.
Was 35
But
pounds.
you swore off beer, so it got to the point where you wouldn't even come to JL Beers with us.
Yeah, that's right. Because if I go to JL Beers and you're on keto, I'm gonna get a fucking Humpty Dumpty burger
with a black bean patty,
with the black bean, or just a regular patty.
Yeah,
and some fucking barbecue fries, and it's barbecue fries in a gigantic dark beer. Or 4 or 5 small dark beers. That's 20,000.
Yeah, I remember trying it. I think I was there with Hunt and Pounders. I forget who I was there with, but I tried it. And I thought, oh my God, I want to introduce Jones to this. Oh shit, I can't. He's not drinking beer right now. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, here, break your diet. You know, I don't want to be the bad friend here.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I tried it the one time. Never tried it again. Never found it again. Never found any place that sold it.
Oh, it just sold out right there?
It was a one and done. Yeah, that was it. The one time I drank it. And it made that much of an impression on me.
Wow. And you don't like dark beers.
No, that's the thing.
In my mind, I was thinking, did I, like, because I would do it a lot. I'd be all drunk and I'd be like, oh, try my beer. And you'd be like, no. You'd be like, yeah, try my beer.
I
okay.
tried quite a few of your black ones, dark beers. I tried almost all of them.
Yeah.
They all had the same... It was the aftertaste that I couldn't get behind.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, it was like half of it was rum chata. You know what I mean? Like, it was good.
Yum.
It was so good. But I haven't been able to find it.
We're going to have to do a mixed drink, one of these at some point. Because talking about this, like the rum chata, when you said that, I was like, man.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch shot?
There's some fucking good-ass shots of mixed drinks I'm thinking of right now.
Oh, man. That's what we should do next week. Our top 5 shots.
Top 5 shots. Yes. That's a good one. Let me write that down. So, because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah. Write that down. Yeah.
All
right. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah. I think so. Head back here real quick.
Yeah. All right.
Didn't pre-plan this. We're gonna have to skip this one this week.
Okay.
My bad.
No hero
of the week. I'm sorry. We'll do it next week.
We're doing a slightly expedited episode this week.
Yeah, because O'Leary's got to get up in fucking 4.5 hours, basically. Once we're done with this.
Yeah, about 4.5 hours. It's going to be rough. All righty, so we're skipping on This Week in History?
We are. Let me hit my...
All right. Boop. Oh, I never gave you the dates. The dates are going to be the 5th of February... through the 11th of February. That is the week we are covering. Beautiful. All right. So, starting with February 5, our featured event takes us back to 146 BC. The Third Punic War ended. This was the one of 3 wars between Rome and Carthage, which is now situated in north-central Africa. It came to an end on this day in 146 BC, culminating in the final destruction of Carthage, the enslavement of his people, and Roman control over the entirety of the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, and so that's the featured event for this day. The featured biography of today, as in February 5th, was the birth of American baseball player, an absolute legend, Hank Aaron, born February 5th, 1934 in Mobile, Alabama. Absolutely great player. Held the home run record for a number of years. More events on this day. 2020. Donald Trump survived his second impeachment over a supposed Ukraine scandal. And let's see what else we got. Oh, this one ticked me off. 2017 was the infamous Super Bowl in which Tom Brady overcame a 25-point deficit to defeat the Atlanta Falcons.
And Matt Ryan hasn't been the same since.
I know. Holy cow. Let's see what else we got. Oh, back in 2003, U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell appeared before the United Nations Security Council to prevent evidence that Iraq possessed prescribed weapons of mass destruction and posed an imminent danger. Let's see what else we got. 1985 was the birth of Portuguese soccer legend Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the finest forwards of his generation. He was born in Portugal, 1985. Let's see what else we got. 1917, Mexico adopted its present constitution. That's pretty cool. And that is it for February 5th. Moving on to February 6th, our featured event of the day. Queen Elizabeth II ascends to the throne of Great Britain and the United Kingdom on this day in 1952, following the death of her husband, King George. The Roman numerals are hard. The 6th, King George the 6th. The featured biography is the birth of President Ronald Reagan, born February 6th, 1911 in Tampico, Illinois. Let's see what else we got. 2018, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket had its first test flight. And that's when they launched the car into space. That was kind of cool. 2014, American comedian Jay Leno hosted his last episode of The Tonight Show. He had previously retired in 2009, but returned the following year. I loved his series Headlines that he did on Monday nights. You remember that one? Oh, that one was hilarious.
No, I don't, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of that when I was younger.
Fair enough. All right. Another biography, 1945. Jamaican singer-songwriter and the godfather of reggae. Do you know who I'm talking about, Jones?
The Bob Marley?
The Bob Marley. He was
Bob Marley.
born on this day in 1945. Let's see what else we got. Oh, another birthday. 1895. Baseball legend known for his big bat, big belly, and horrible diet. You know who I'm talking about, Jones?
What was year again?
1895 was
Babe
his
Ruth?
birthday. Babe Ruth, the great Bambino, the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout.
The man was fucking ripping cigs
Oh
and
my
hitting home
god.
runs.
12 hot dogs a game. Yeah, it was pretty nasty. Anyway, let's see here. What else we got? All right, moving on. February 7. All right, our featured event, 1964, the British musical invasion. Based on that, Jones, you know who I'm talking about?
Year again?
1964, the British musical invasion started with this band.
The Beatles?
The Beatles.
Damn, my trivia's the shit.
You're killing it today. Yeah. All right. So they landed in New York City on this day on February 7, 1964, and 2 nights later at Beatlemania, or as Beatlemania stormed America, their performance on the Ed Sullivan Show was watched by 73 million viewers. Yeah. And featured biography, born on this day, 1812 in England, the great British novelist Charles Dickens. He famously wrote the the Ebenezer Scrooge Christmas Story, among others. Let's see what else we got. Oh, 2019, the first. Yeah, I read that right. Frank Robinson, the first black manager of Major League Baseball. He died at 82 in 2019. Let's see what else we got. Blase, blase, blah, blase, blase, blah. 1974, Grenada gained independence from the United Kingdom. And I make this joke every single time, but it seems like it keeps on happening. Independence Day is a holiday celebrated on average once every 7 days. Independence Day from England, specifically. Let's see. Another biography, 1966. American comedian Chris Rock was born. Had a great stand-up career, great acting career, and recently, and most notably known for being smacked like a bitch by Will Smith.
And he's coming out with a stand-up. It's going to be on Netflix here in the next couple months. Oh, really? Yeah, very touted.
Okay, here we go, Jones. 1940. This Disney animated film had its world premiere and became one of Disney's most beloved classics, known for its brilliant animation and compelling story. I guess that really doesn't narrow it down, does it? Pinocchio is what I'm talking about. 1940. I had no idea it was that old. Wow. Let's see what else we got. That is it for the 7th. Moving on to February 8th. Oh, excuse me. Our featured event for today takes us all the way back to 1587 with the beheading of Mary, Queen of Scots, the rival of Queen Elizabeth I. Yeah, I need to read up on that history because it's a fascinating bit of history. I just don't know too much about it. I just know Mary, Queen of Scots was beheaded after her capture. Let's see, moving on. I prepped all this 3 days ago and I forgot which ones I wanted to talk about. 1976. Classic American film Taxi Driver, directed by Martin Scorsese, had its world premiere. Jones, do you remember who starred in that? As a breakout role?
A breakout role in what movie again?
Taxi Driver, 1976.
Martin Lawrence?
Nope, Robert De Niro.
Oh, I was thinking of a different movie.
He did a fantastic job portraying a mentally disabled or mentally unstable Vietnam War vet. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. And don't care about that. All right, moving on. February 9. We're just cruising right along. Our featured event, Calcutta restored to British control. Calcutta being a region of India. Once again, Great Britain ruling places. This was in 1757. Let's see what else we got. 1943. The Battle of Guadalcanal ended with an Allied victory over Japan. That battle lasted a long time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the battle that the movie Hacksaw Ridge is based on, or maybe that was Iwo Jima. I can't remember. I'll have to brush up on that. And alrighty, I said we were going to February 11th, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. On this day, February 10th, our featured event. This is kind of a cool one for us, Jones, being chess players ourselves. 1996. World chess champion Garry Kasparov began a 6-round match against Deep Blue, a new chess-playing computer built by IBM, in which Kasparov claimed a 4-2 victory. Deep Blue was the original chess computer, which has now been revamped a couple of different times. And now chess computers are so advanced that they can predict a perfect game mathematically, which is kind of crazy.
Well, with what AI has become recently,
right?
It's kind of insane.
It's scary. Yeah.
That's where it started, really.
Yeah. More events on this day. 2014. At the age of 85, American actress Shirley Temple died. She was a child star at the top of the Hollywood box offices from 1935 to 1939. Yeah, famous for the dancing and singing routines. Yeah, she died at 85 back in 2014. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here's a good one. 1962. U.S. Airman Francis Gary Powers, who was the captured U-2 spy plane pilot, who was shot down over the Soviet Union in 1960, and was later convicted of espionage. He was traded for a Soviet spy named Rudolf Abel. Now, if you don't know the history behind this one, there's a really great movie out. It was released a couple years ago, starring Tom Hanks, called Bridge of Spies. That covers this prisoner exchange. Great movie. Very well done. Let's see what else we got. Oh, love this one. 1957, American author Laura Ingalls Wilder died at age 90. She was the author of the famous Little House series, which I read as a kid. I love those books. Little House on the Prairie, Little House in the Big Woods. I think there were four or five books in that Little House series. I can't remember. I just remember reading them as a kid and I loved them. Great books. All right, let's see what else we got. That is it for February 11 or February 10. February 11, 2012. A very sad day as American R&B singer Whitney Houston died at age 48, arguably one of the greatest female singers of all time. She was a pop superstar in the 80s. Tons of great hits. Yeah, she died on this day in 2012 at the age of 48, way before her time. What else we got? Oh, I remember when this was happening. In 2011, the Egyptian president Hosni Mubarak stepped down after nearly 30 years in power following mass demonstrations that were part of the pro-democracy uprising known as Arab Spring. This was in 2011. I remember following this because it was a big deal when he finally resigned. Speaking of political figures, in 1990, after serving 27 years in prison, Nelson Mandela was released, and he subsequently began negotiating with President de Klerk that ended apartheid in South Africa. Also, he's the namesake of the famous Mandela effect, which is a phenomena in which a bunch of people inaccurately remember details about something from history. Have you ever heard of that, Jones, the Mandela effect?
Oh, I've heard of it, and I'm probably a culprit of that because my memory is shit.
Everybody is. But it's funny. So he's the person who this is named after, and it started because for some reason a ton of people thought that he died in prison. Right? So a ton of people are misremembering this particular fact of history. No, he was in prison for 27 years, was released, and then later became the president of South Africa. So, speaking of presidents, British politician, this is back in 1975, British politician Margaret Thatcher was elected leader of the Conservative Party, replacing somebody who I don't care about. She later became Europe's first woman prime minister 4 years later in 1979. So, good for her. Let's see, another birthday, 1969, American actress Jennifer Aniston, who was known for her breakout role in this television sitcom Friends, which aired from 1994 to 2004. Let's see what else we got here. Here we go. Last one of the day. 1847 was the birth of American inventor Thomas Edison, who singly or jointly held a world record of 1,093 patents, and who played a critical role in the introduction of the modern age of electricity. He was born February 11, 1847. So that is your week in history summed up.
Nice.
Bazinga. Yeah.
You know, while you were doing that, I was able to listen, do trivia, and finish an assignment at the same time.
Heck yeah.
And I learned a lot. Not only from my schooling, but also from history.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Since in the spirit of this being a slightly expedited exercise, we are going to forego the Darwin Awards this year. We're going to forego the Darwin Awards this week, and we're going to skip right into our favorite segment.
By far our favorite.
Don't get me started.
I love this segment.
Don't get me started. I love it.
Get me started. Or on my stream deck, DGMS.
DGMS. I like it. All right. So as a reminder, the way this game works is we are going to give each other We're going to take turns giving each other a random topic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to be a beer-related topic because we have a beer theme this week.
We do.
We're going to give each other a beer-related topic, and then we're going to tell each other you either love it or you hate it, and then you instantly have to go on a minute-long rant on all the reasons why you either love or hate this particular topic. Right?
That's the way we do it. Now, do you want your like or your dislike first?
Let's do my dislike first. Let's shake it up. What's my dislike?
You better be glad we did our top 5 first. Because you detest Blue Moon.
Blue Moon? Yeah, you son of a bitch. All right. All right. I hate Blue Moon because I drink beer to get drunk. I don't want to drink this fruity ass orange flavored light beer. Right? What's the point? If I want to drink a fruit flavored something, I'll drink juice. Right? Why do you got to mix fruit and beer? I want my bread flavored soda to be bread flavored soda. You know what I mean? I don't need the introduction of orange peel. I don't care if it's from Valencia. Whatever. Let's see. Why else do I hate Blue Moon? Let's see. The moon is not blue, so the whole premise of naming your beer after something that doesn't exist is kind of stupid. If it was called White Moon, that would make more sense, but then you're dangerously close to a DC character. But yeah, Blue Moon's stupid. Show. It was a good show.
I heard much different.
Did you watch it?
Oh, fuck, I don't watch shows. I play games.
Fair enough.
Fuck. No, I'm just kidding. I only do one.
Yes, Echo. That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Moon Knight. I did not hear good things about it.
It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Well, I'll have to take a watch then.
All right, Jones. You want your like or your hate?
Well, we'll go with the same. I'll do my hate.
All right, you hate beer pong.
Bitch. All right, I hate beer pong. You know, one reason, because I'm fucking old now. I'm too old to be taken. Well, that's just statistically not true. And I fucking hate statistics, but I win a lot. A lot. Still have the table, still beat people. If I were to still play. Obviously I don't, because I'm an old, matured man now. I drink my pinky up. You know what I'm saying? Drink my...
It just makes you gay.
No, it makes you... No, that's pinky somewhere else. But yeah, I'm an old distinguished gentleman now. I smoke cigars and drink whiskey. I don't have time for beer pong and their childish games. Are you kidding me? Who cares if you put water in a cup, throw a ball in it like you're playing basketball and you're white and you don't know how to play basketball, and suddenly you're pretty good at throwing a ball in a hoop? You know, maybe my 18-year-old self would like that, but not my 28-year-old self.
Your 18-year-old self shouldn't be playing beer pong to begin with.
Oh, I played a lot of beer pong. Played a lot of beer pong. And that's when I was at my peak. That's when I was good. That and,
you got the just the right amount of arc.
Wait. I was pretty good at beer pong. Yeah, my parents never played
the shit out of that up in Minot.
Yeah. We played the shit out of it. So, short diatribe, right?
Not the right word, but okay.
Explanation, yeah, stuff like that. So beer pong, if no one knows what a beer pong is, you have, what's that? 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 7. It's 10 cups, right?
10 cups.
You have 10 cups each side. Most
arranged
people play
in a pyramid.
Arranged in a pyramid. Most people play it with, like, the traditional way to play is beer in your cup.
Right.
That's fucking gross to me. I've always thought that was gross. I've done it like that. You've got people in their dirty ass fingers and the dirty ball flopped on the ground so no one knows how to shoot. Getting cat hair and shit. You're drinking beer with cat hair in it. It's disgusting. So you put water in the cups, right? And you sit there and you make it in, you take it out. It's a good fun party game. And you can just sit there and sip your beer instead of our college people who are probably listening who put actual fucking beer in their cups and do beer pong.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That's fucking nasty. Gross. If you're going to do that, be a fucking man. Put vodka. Because we did that before, and that was a terrible idea.
That's right. I'm surprised I even remember that night.
I don't very much.
Alrighty.
We're at the
What's
beginning
my
of it.
love? What's my love?
You love flat beer.
Flat beer.
Oh yeah, just like you love chests. Flat.
Yeah. Right. I like my beer like I like my chests. All right, so the best thing about flat beer is that once it goes flat, it can't get any worse than that, right? So it's like flat beer is like cold pizza.
It's a good angle.
You've already bottomed out, and if you like it, great. You can drink it or eat it whenever, right? Hell, you pair flat beer with cold pizza, you're living. That's college right there.
That is college.
But yeah,
right
so
there.
if you can get to the point where you like flat beer, then it doesn't matter if your beer's crap, right? Because you like it.
That's a good point.
So when I go to a Twins game and pay for an overpriced beer, I don't expect much, right? And if it happens to be flat, cool. I already like flat beer, just like cold pizza.
There it is. I hate meal flat beer.
It's so
dude.
bad.
Especially if you go out somewhere and you're like, man, I can't wait. I've been on keto for fucking 4 weeks, 6 weeks or something. Lost 35 pounds, 40 pounds. I'm going to have a beer. You go out, they pour you the beer, or you get a beer, open the can, right? Take a sip.
With no head.
Flat as fuck. And you're like, you ruined my whole fucking day. It's a day ruiner. A flat beer is an entire day ruiner.
It kind of is, yeah.
Especially if you buy a case and they're all flat and you're like, fuck.
Right?
Damn it. All right, what I got?
All right. That was it, wasn't it? Oh, no, this is your love.
Yes, my love.
You love IPAs.
All right. I love IPAs, right? And here's actually, this is actually somewhat truthful. So there's this beer that comes out of Bell's Brewing. It's called Two Hearted. It's got
Two Hearted.
Yeah, it's got a couple. I think they're trout. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think they're trout on there. But that's actually a pretty solid beer. I used to drink it when I was younger and didn't have any other beer taste. But it got me by. It tastes like feet, but not like gross feet. Like if you were had a foot fetish, you like sucking toes, that's what an IPA tastes like for the most part.
We all know how much you love feet.
And I love feet. So no, but you can get some IPAs that are delicious. And if you find those diamonds in the rough, you can find a pretty good beer. And I like looking for those diamonds in the rough. Now the rest of those drinks are fucking gross. It
Horrible.
tastes like fermented
way too much
feet.
hops. Yeah. And it smells like fermented feet.
Oh, there's a couple out there that are okay. There's a couple out there that are pretty good. Founders has one that's pretty good.
Technically, if we want to get technical, Spotted Cow is an IPA.
Don't ruin my life like that. It wasn't intentional. But
are you good?
Oh, I thought so. We drink
Wrong
some
tube?
nice non-IPA beer. Oh, clears me up.
All right.
All right.
Would you rather? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Let's hit it. Hit me with it. What you got for me?
Would you rather drink a warm beer or a Bud Light?
Bud Light. Yeah, that was easy.
Think so?
Because at least the Bud Light's cold.
I'm the opposite of that spectrum. I would rather drink river water than a Bud Light.
Depending on what river it is, river water's actually pretty good.
I would rather fucking drink river water in Flint, Michigan than a fucking Bud Light. You could set that shit on fire and I'd drink it. As long as I didn't have to wash it down with the fucking Bud Light.
That's fair.
Ugh.
That's fair. But for me, beer is kind of like water. As long as it's cold, it automatically tastes better than the same thing if it's warm.
Yeah. That's a good explanation of it, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So this one's a little complicated, but bear with me here. Would you rather all your beer is free, but you can only drink Budweiser, or every beer you buy is twice as expensive?
I would rather spend way more fucking money than drink that fucking horse piss beer that's Bud Light. I can't stand. That's the only beer I hate. It's the only one. There's no political reason for it. There's no any reason for it besides taste. It tastes like piss water. It could be cold, it tastes like piss water. It could be warm, it tastes like piss water. The people who drink it are in a fucking cult. They're like, oh, I fucking love Bud Light. No. You drink piss and you enjoy it. There's literally a rich dude taking all of your money and rubbing it against his naked fat body, right? While he's pissing in a can. And he's handing it to you and be like, this is delicious. And you're like, oh, yes, daddy, thanks. Piss in my mouth more.
Oh my God.
That's what Bud Light is.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel. Shit.
Blech.
And thank you for that mental picture now. I'm good. That's going to be the last thing going to my head as I drift off to sleep tonight.
I was thinking of like a comic. Like if that was
an old fat guy rubbing his nipples while he's peeing.
With $1,000 bills, $10,000 bills. Pissing in a Bud Light can. Yeah. Bud Light's so gross. I would rather pay 4 times more for a beer and have a good beer. That's just me.
All right. Well, speaking of beer, shall we continue our beer themed run here?
I think so. While you explain what that is, I'm gonna use the restroom.
Well, before you
go make
use
some
the
Bud
restroom,
Light.
can you adjust our title?
Fuck. You know, we were doing pretty good, and then we weren't.
We were.
Where is my debate?
You said it was craft beer versus production beer.
We'll do craft versus mainstream.
Sure.
It's easier.
All right.
Well,
yeah. So.
I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna go make some Bud Light.
All right. So while Jones goes and makes some Bud Light, the way we've been doing our debates is we try to keep these lighthearted. Most of our topics are food related because that's one of the few things we know of that we consistently disagree on. So some of our past debates have been like the best sauce. Like I think we did ranch versus barbecue sauce, in which case I wiped the floor with Jones. We've also done best pizza. We've done best Thanksgiving side. We've done what else have we done that's food related? I'm trying to think now. But yeah, so the debates that we do, we try to keep them lighthearted. Which is going to be in a stark contrast to when we start doing Devil's Advocate. That one will be serious, either political or socio-economic, what have you. We'll actually discuss something of a hot button topic. But for now, in keeping with our beer theme, we decided we were going to argue craft beers versus your production beers. And Jones, would you like to start off?
Yes. Before we start off, I just want to, for the record, say you did not beat me in that ranch versus barbecue debate.
Yes, I did.
There's no way. Ranch is by far better than any sauce. It's even better than ketchup.
No,
it's better than everything. So
nobody goes to a store and gets French fries with ranch. They get French fries with ketchup.
Literally every single person in the Midwest. All of them.
No.
Every single one of them. And the people out here. And the people in the South. They might like barbecue sauce a little bit. But you know what they put with their barbecue sauce? Ranch. Anyways.
Anyway. Second tier backup sauce.
You mean the thing I search for more than love? Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so today I'm going to argue in favor of craft beers.
Mm-hmm.
And Jones is going to attempt to argue in favor of Bud Light.
No.
and
close.
all the other production beers that taste just like it.
Well, one.
Go for it.
Go
for it.
All right. I'm going to do mainstream beers. And this is the reason why. Mainstream beers are old dependable. Right? They're the most sold beers in the United States. They're always there. In every single store, every single bar you ever go to, there's always a mainstream beer. It doesn't matter if you're German, Mexican, fucking from Panama, you're from Tennessee, California, Canada, China, whatever. There's a mainstream beer in your country that everyone loves. It's usually a decent price. It's not super fancy. It's for the average working man to get home from a long day at work, sit down, crack open a beer, watch some sports, and relax, right? That's what mainstream beer is. That's your Coors Lights. That's your Busch Latte, right? That's your Coors Banquet. It's not super fancy and ridiculous taste that you don't need. It's just dependable.
Okay. All right. Decent start. We got some stuff to work with here. All right. So craft beer is better than your production beer for the simple reason that it is craft by nature and by name, right? More care has been put into perfecting a beer that isn't for the sole purpose of, one, tasting like piss water, two, being able to be cranked out in mass quantities for your college dorm room binge nights, and three, it is a perfected recipe, right? Whether that be a lighter wheat beer, whether that be a darker stout, or whether it be an IPA. IPA being the broader market here. But craft beer is better because it is a perfected recipe that incorporates better flavors, better alcohol content, and it isn't just mass produced and just, here you go, here's a product. It's a product that people can be proud of, not just mass produced on an assembly line.
All right. Pabst Blue Ribbon has been out since 1844.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tasted the same since 1844. You talk about a fucking perfected. You talk about a perfected recipe. Mainstream beers have that shit on lock. The one thing about mainstream beers is they have Bud Light, which tastes like piss water. Craft beer has 100,000 Bud Lights that taste like piss water. Right? Oh yeah. You go to a fucking craft brewery, there might be one good beer on tap. Maybe one good beer on tap. If you go to a bar anywhere else, they might have one craft beer in there. That's the one good craft beer you can find out of the 10,000 craft beers they have that taste like feet because they're fucking IPAs, right? You go yourself a Modelo, a Pacifico, a Corona with lime. How many songs are there about fucking craft beer? Now, how many country songs?
How many songs are there about Corona?
How many songs are there about? Oh, there's a couple. How many songs are there about mainstream beers?
It's Corona.
Basically
Corona
every country
beer?
song ever. No. It's like super mainstream. That's like the biggest cerveza there is. Right behind that's Modelo. Then you got Pacifico. Yeah. Then you got Tecate, which I never had. I guess that's the one that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't think I've ever had a cerveza, a legitimate cerveza, which is funny enough. That's just the Spanish word for beer.
They're different. There's a big difference between a cerveza and a regular beer.
Yeah, it is definitely a different thing. But back to my original point.
They're not perfected. There's some pretty good craft beers out there. I'll give you that.
There are some fantastic
I love me
ones.
some Mango Carts. I love me Founders Brewing.
There are craft breweries all over. Okay, funny you should mention that. How many beers in your top five, Jones, are craft beers?
2.
3?
2. Beaumonte is a mainstream beer from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Coors Light is Coors Light.
Right.
Labatt Blue Light is a mainstream beer.
It is?
It's Canada's beer.
Mm.
Labatt Blue and Molson are Canada's beer. So Founders and Mango Cart.
Okay.
And then my honorable mention was Modelo and then Busch Latte. I love saying Busch Latte. I don't know why. It makes me happy. There are good craft beers. But the perfected portion, I don't think necessarily is the best argument towards craft beers. Because a perfected recipe is something that's been the same for years, and it works, and everyone likes it. And that's a Coors Light.
I'm not sure.
That's a regular Michelob. That's a,
I think that's more of a refusal to change. Whereas the nature of craft beers is the pushing of the envelope and trying to come up with something new, something different, something
that's the problem, though. There's been companies
that's challenging the status quo, as it were. I think the nature of a mainstream beer is that it's just bland, but it's safe. People like it because it's not trying to do anything crazy. Mainstream beers are the Glocks of the beer world.
Don't you do that?
It's just,
don't you do that to mainstream beer?
Mainstream beer is like Glock.
No, because Glock is for basic bitches.
Just basic, exactly.
No. You
want something that tries to push the envelope, try to make some changes, reinvent the wheel. You go for a craft beer. A Glock is safe. People know what they're getting.
Well, it's actually not safe.
It's been around for a long time.
But
no, safe as in not crazy, not outside of the normal.
Echo says you make a good point, right? But
people buy a Glock because it's basic, it's simple, it's easy, doesn't require a lot of effort.
You can say the same thing about Sig.
And it's consistent.
You can say the same thing about HKs.
But we're not arguing about guns. We're not arguing about guns.
Those are all commercial fucking mainstream guns. All right, just like my commercial mainstream beer. So I'll tell you,
it's basic.
You know who does craft beer better than most craft beer companies? Mainstream beer. You know why? Because
that doesn't even make sense.
I'll let you give me a sec to explain.
Give me a brand.
So
give me a brand here.
Coors. So all these seltzers and stuff came out, right? Coors came in. They're like, fucking hold my beer and my lime and watch this shit. I'm gonna make a seltzer better than all of you. You know what they did? That. Same with Coors. They made delicious seltzers too.
Seltzer is not beer.
I'm just saying these craft fucking fruity booty things, and
You're not even arguing about beer.
One second. I fucking hate Bud Light, and I hate Budweiser. But Anheuser-Busch, the company that owns basically every beer on the planet, they do it the corporate capitalism American way, and they go, "Congratulations, you were a craft beer. You had this brewery. You are now mainstream. We're gonna buy you for millions of dollars and make you mainstream." And that's what happens to Founders, Bell's,
Bell's got
Sierra Nevada, like all these beers are like, oh, you were craft, but how about you could become mainstream? Come to the dark side, make 25 times more money.
You're arguing against yourself. You just described mainstream beer as the dark side. It's what beer doesn't want to be.
No,
plain Jane and boring.
It's not plain Jane boring.
Tasteless, piss water.
It's not.
Just you're telling me right now that you're describing are the diamonds in the rough within the mainstream beer.
Name me 5 craft beers off the top of your head. You have 10 seconds.
Sunseeker, Leinenkugel's,
no.
Shock Top.
No. Those are mainstream now.
Fuck
yeah, those bitches are bought out 10 years ago.
Just because they got bought out doesn't mean that that's not what they were originally.
They ain't craft no more. They mainstream.
Hold on a second.
They're in every single fucking store you go into. They're in a lot of bars you ever go into. There's a Shock Top and a Leinenkugel.
Yeah, but they're still brewed small batch.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
brewed fucking factory style. Anheuser-Busch said, hey, we're going to buy that and we're going to build another multi-million-dollar facility and we're just going to produce your beer in these two multi-million-dollar facilities. Then we're going to ship it for you to all 50 states and then around the world. We'll take 55%. You take 45%. I don't know if that's the actual money that they get. We'll take X and you take X. You are now a large populous beer. If you are found in most restaurants, you are not a craft beer. Craft beer is like you go down to the local brewery.
So then would you be arguing that becoming a mainstream beer is not a good thing?
Fuck no, I wouldn't argue that at all. I even wouldn't argue that, like you said, it's not a good thing, right? So I wouldn't argue that because that it gives availability to more people. And your goal as a brewer is to have people drink your beer and enjoy your product. So becoming mainstream is actually a good thing. Not only are you making more profit, but you're giving your availability more to more people in the United States, and that's cool. That's
I still don't agree. I still don't agree with the point you made about just because my product was bought out by a big company doesn't make me craft anymore.
Well, think about Founders.
I don't think I agree with that premise.
Founders was all right, Echo. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping by and talking.
Hold on, Echo. Before you dip out, I need to know your opinion on who's winning this debate here.
Yeah. We probably should have put a premise before we did this debate, actually, because I could just pull rules out my ass. I'm like the referees tonight at the Super Bowl game.
You're very good at pulling shit out your ass.
Yeah, not putting it in, but pulling shit out. It's pretty good.
Like trying to argue that mainstream beer is anything other than basic white bitch.
No, it's mainstream beer. Craft beer is you go to a local brewery and you get something from there, like jail beers. And the jail beers are they're a craft. They're not a national or multi-state thing. They're a local or maybe a couple states they're in, right? That's a craft beer. That's what Founders used to be. But there comes a point when you branch out and you become national, you're now a mainstream beer. If you're a national product and you can get it in a bunch of states, and it's not just like the Midwest or the Northeast or whatever, you're now a mainstream beer. Kind of like how Sam Adams, when Sam Adams was first made, I guess technically was a craft beer, but it's one of the biggest beer brands there is. So it's therefore a mainstream national beer.
I would still argue that
that's another shitter, though.
What makes you craft versus mainstream is, I think it would boil down to production techniques and the care you put into as a brewer or distiller to create a product that is unique in and of itself. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Blue Moon. What sets Blue Moon apart is the adding of the Valencia orange peel in the brewing process. Right? There are other orange flavored beers like Shock Top, for example. Mm-hmm. But Blue Moon does it differently. So I would argue that just because I can do different on a large scale and ship it internationally, I wouldn't argue that suddenly makes me mainstream, though.
Well,
I think it has to have something to do with the care I'm making or the care I'm putting into my product, making it unique, making it different, adding different levels of either your hoppiness or your sweet with your wheat or whatever the case is, or brewing it with something completely different.
Well,
I would argue that scale has less to do with it than creating a unique product.
Well,
and if my product hasn't evolved in 60 years, then I would argue that I'm about pushing out a safe product that I know people like, rather than pushing the envelope and trying to create something new and unique.
Well, that's not what these brands do, though. They go, okay, I have my mainline beer, right? This is our company's most famous beer. We're gonna make this. So like
Stretch moment.
Like Sam Adams, for example. Sam Adams, you would agree, is a pretty mainstream beer. People drink Sam Adams like crazy. I don't necessarily like the regular Sam Adams, but Sam Adams, but they're really known for their craft stuff, their Oktoberfest, their summer beer, their reds, stuff like that. Sam Adams is known for more so than their main beer, their main St. Adams beer. They're known for their winter lager. They're known for their summer beer.
Boston lager, and
they're known for their Oktoberfest is like the best Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah.
So there's these companies. Huge. These companies aren't. Get out of here with that.
That goes the smart man.
Well, he did say point before this one I called it the dark side, and he came on my side. But these big major companies, maybe you could argue, aren't trying to brew new beers just for the taste. Maybe they're trying to do it just to make money, which I would agree with you on that. But they're trying to make more shit to make more money. That's how it is. But to say that having a beer that's been the same for fucking 90 years, no, 100, what's that? Is it 1844? How many years is that?
200 some, yeah.
Almost 200 years. That's an impressive feat. That means your beer is good, and you could have probably tried out and branched other things, but that the reason they're successful in their mainstream is because their product was phenomenal. And I think you'll see a lot of these craft beers like Founders, Bell's, which has reached mainstream now. I think you'll see a lot of them in the future reach that level, because if they have a good product, they're going to become mainstream. Craft is like, I go to the fucking brewery down the road to Inland Wharf, owned by a veteran. He makes good stouts, and I go drink that. Like, that's good fucking beer, and I appreciate that beer.
Right.
But when I'm in Arizona trying on Lake Havasu trying to have a good time, can I buy Jerry's fucking stout? No, I can't. That sucks. I wish I could, but I can't. I can buy Coors Light though.
I still feel like you're operating on the premise that craft beer simply means I, as a brewer, don't possess the means to export on a wide scale. I think that's a hang up that you're operating under.
Maybe. But I will say that the availability of a mainstream beer...
There is a part of it. Yeah, there is a part of that is true. Whether by choice or by necessity, New Glarus doesn't sell their beer outside of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's probably a choice rather than them being forced to do that. I feel like... So then my question to you then is, do you consider New Glarus a
Spotted Cow?
New Glarus is the parent company. Spotted Cow is a particular beer that they make. It's a
regional. I would say regional's fine. Regional could probably be classified as craft then.
Okay, for the sake of argument then, say New Glarus does not get bought out by a massive company, but still manages to start selling nationwide or worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Do they cease becoming a craft brewery at that point? In your opinion, based on the arguments that you presented thus far.
So you said if they don't get bought out.
Correct. If New Glarus stays the parent company and then they just decide one day, I'm going to start exporting to all 50 states and internationally. Does that then make them a not craft brewery but mainstream?
If it's accepted by everybody and starts coming in, and fucking if Applebee's is carrying it, right? If Chili's is carrying it, if your local Walmart's fucking carrying it, you don't have to go to a specialty store to buy it. Like, I would say yes. If it comes to that point, you've crossed the line between craft to mainstream. Because the whole thing about mainstream is...
That line, according to you, is simply distribution methods.
It's availability. It's availability,
but that has absolutely nothing to do with the distilling and brewing process.
Well, the distilling and brewing process for Coors Light and Busch Light and stuff it's not like they're going through and whipping people as they fucking make beer, and they're not kicking their dead employees into the vats because they couldn't work fast enough.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
Like,
what I'm saying is what makes craft beer a craft beer. What makes craft beer a craft beer, by definition, is doing something different in the brewing or distilling process. It has absolutely nothing to do with ownership or distribution methods.
That's where I disagree with you.
It can't.
My favorite beer company of all time, as you know, is Founders. Right? Yeah. I love Founders. Founders started
they
in
started
Grand Rapids, Michigan,
as a small brewery.
As a small brewery.
Specialty products.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because they got
branched
bought out
above regionally to nationally, and now are in stores in California. They're in stores in New York. They're in stores in Texas. They're in fucking Turkey.
But, has their brewing / distilling process changed at all?
No, because that's the same fucking...
So there we go.
Fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon has done the same brewing stuff since 1844, where all these people now learn that shit from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, yeah, maybe this beer's been around longer, so it's more mainstream. But that doesn't mean that they don't brew or take the same care of their beer that other people do. It just means that their beer was really fucking good, and they decided to give it to more people, and more people like it. And now lots and lots and lots of people drink it. And it's a mainstream beer, just like a mainstream news station is a fucking Fox News or a CNN or something like that, as opposed to a local news station.
They all talk about the same shit. A mainstream radio station is going to play all the same music, right? It's only when you get into FX and Sirius when you get into FX and Sirius XM radio that you start finding radio stations that are a little bit different.
Yeah, I'll concede to the fact of yours that maybe they can push the envelope and do a little bit more flavors on the craft side. I'll concede to that, right? What I won't concede to is mainstream beer is the standard, right? It's a standard of beer because they were that one day. Like, whenever they started, they were that guy making it in their fucking garage, whatever. And their recipe was so good that everyone now it's known across the United States or the world that this beer is great. So
okay, now we're on the same page. Yeah. All right, so because the image that I had in my head was if you did a blind taste test, or even just a blind visual test between your top 5 mainstream beers. You got your Miller Lite, Bud Light, Budweiser, Coors Light. You stack a cup of each of those all along in a row. Do they look any different than each other? And do they really taste any different than each other?
Well,
let's be brutally honest here. If you and I did a blind taste test of any of those beers, I might be able to pick out one of the 4.
I could get you every single one of them. I guarantee you.
But that amount of subtlety, that subtle difference that makes things different.
Well, we're also talking about a specific type of beer, right? Like, these are all just regular lagers. Now, there's mainstream stouts like Guinness. You've got mainstream reds. You've got mainstream. There's all kinds of beer. Every beer you can think of, every style you can think of, there's a mainstream beer for it. So
when I think of quote unquote mainstream beer, I think of the aforementioned 5 light beers. When you think of college house parties, what they're gonna drink one of these 5.
But that's not necessarily mainstream beer though. Like honestly, Blue Moon.
Am I wrong?
Now as a mainstream beer, Modelo is a mainstream beer.
I would argue that
Guinness
Blue
is a
Moon
mainstream
is not,
beer. It's in every single Applebee's I've ever been to in my life.
That's true.
And every single Chili's.
I would still argue that it is craft because of the nature of the ingredients and the brewing process and the fact that it tastes so much different than other quote unquote wheat beers.
Then what about Guinness? Guinness is by far the standard for an Irish stout. It's
right.
It's the Irish stout.
But when was the last time you saw a college get together or any sort of house party in which people were chugging Guinness? Let's be honest here.
Just because
you don't go to a house party and chug Guinness. You go to a house party and you drink Miller Lite. You drink the cheap, low alcohol, light wheat beers. One of the aforementioned 5.
When you're 19 years old, yeah. Don't do that for 19 years old, by the way. We don't condone underage drinking.
Drink. Wait till you're 21. Do it responsibly.
21. It's cheap.
But let's be honest here. You go to a house party where people are all drinking out of red Solo cups, what are they drinking? They're drinking one of the 5 basic beers.
You're talking about a people
five basic bitches.
You're talking about.
I'm talking about purely based on popularity.
Actually, nowadays that's not necessarily true. That might not necessarily, because you'll find a few IPA drinkers in there. You'll find a few quote unquote,
a few maybe.
And depending on the part of your country you're in, it's going to depend on what mainstream beer is in there, and depending on your age, right? And the good thing about mainstream beers is there's something for everybody. If you go to the store and you go to the beer section,
the very same thing could be said about craft beers too. That's literally why they do it.
I'm saying you go to
something that's something for everybody.
You go to any store in the United States and you go, okay, today I want to pick up a lager. I want to pick up a stout. I want to pick up an IPA. I want to pick up a fucking
light beer.
A light beer. You can go and there is a nationally sold beer in there. There's a Founders All Day IPA in there. There's a Guinness there for you. There's a Coors Light. There's a red beer there. There's something for everybody in mainstream, and the only reason they're mainstream is because they're fucking delicious. Except for piss water Bud Light. It's the only one. And that's just my opinion. There's millions of people who hate that shit.
I still don't think if I was doing a blind taste test, I'd be able to taste the difference between Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors Light. I don't think I'd be able to taste the difference.
Well, it's because you don't drink it.
If you were to go to someone, Miller Lite was the first beer I drank consistently when I started drinking. Yeah. If I had a choice between the 3 of those, I would go Coors.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Yeah.
Right.
Boy.
But that still doesn't lend much to the argument. I think we would have had a better time nailing down parameters for the argument if we first nailed down what we consider the criteria for being considered mainstream. Right? Because that was a big part of our argument was, what you consider something as mainstream, and for you, according to your arguments thus far, has simply been availability nationwide. But my argument has been craft is distinguished by flavoring and uniqueness rather than national or international availability. And those two aren't mutually exclusive, as evidenced by things like Blue Moon or Shock Top or Leinenkugel's and those other brands or brands which are national and international. Right. So just because something is national or international doesn't preclude it from also being considered craft.
Yeah, I guess it did become an argument of what's the definition.
But I don't think we can agree on a definition. Therefore, I feel like we're doing this circular apples versus oranges.
Okay, here we go. The definition of the Oxford Dictionary: a craft beer is a beer made in a traditional or non-mechanized way by a small brewery. That is a craft beer.
Okay.
So basically anything else would be a mainstream beer.
So do me a favor, ask Google the question, is Blue Moon a craft beer? Now I'm curious. Because if it says yes, then we're getting conflicting information here.
Well, coming from the company, they say so. But that doesn't necessarily mean it is, right? Because it says the number 1 craft beer in the United States, but per the definition of the Oxford Dictionary, therefore it wouldn't be a craft beer because it's not coming from a small brewery.
How do you know Blue Moon isn't a small brewery?
Because I have another one down here saying, yes, Blue Moon is a domestic beer. Domestic beers are for the United States. Some most common domestic beers you would regularly see include Miller, Budweiser, Coors, and Michelob.
Okay, so domestic simply means it's brewed here in the United States, and the headquarters is here in the United States.
Yeah, which is what most of the mainstream beers are. It would be domestic. Craft beer is a small-scale brewery. Domestic/mainstream would be a large-scale brewery doing national sales and distribution. That seems to be.
Now we've just introduced a new term, which throws all of our previous arguments kind of in a whack here, out of whack.
Which is kind of what I was saying before. It's like if it's a regional thing, it's probably still craft. If it's a national thing, it's a domestic beer or a mainstream beer, because you have non-domestic beers like Heineken and Guinness and shit like that, Modelo, Pacifico.
Those are all international beers.
They're all international beers, but they're still mainstream everywhere you can go.
We never really talked about how international fits into this argument.
Yeah,
because I totally kind of disregarded international.
Yeah.
In my argument, because I'm thinking about like American craft beers.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's what I was saying. Modelo, fucking Guinness, shit like that.
I'm also thinking about
good quality
places
beer.
like BJ's, for example, which is a restaurant and brew house, right? So they are their own standalone brand, and they have like 8 varieties going from light to dark, which are their own breweries. I don't know if they sell them in stores, but if you go to BJ's,
that I can think of, they sell them in. I would classify them as craft then, because they only sell kind of like JL Beers. JL Beers only sells their beer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they sell them anywhere else. They didn't have them downtown.
JL Beers never brewed their own.
Yeah, they did.
Namesake. They did.
Yeah, they always had 2 or 3 on tap.
Mm-hmm. But the rest of theirs were all other small-time breweries that they were featuring.
And there were some domestics on there and some international, some mainstream stuff. There's always like, how, just knowing from restaurant stuff my mom works, like they always have like, let's say you have
some Bud Light.
You always have 5 taps, right? Let's say you have 5 taps. Usually 3 or 4 of those are domestics, and one of those is a craft beer. Usually
that craft beer is Blue Moon. Usually,
they usually have like Blue Moon, Bud Light, Miller or Coors Light,
or Dos Equis, or
one of the Cerveza, a Dos Equis or a Modelo, and then they'll have like a local one. Like out here's 805 is huge, or Mango Cart is huge. So they have those like the big 4, and they'll have one of those. Yeah. That's weird. You always have to have a domestic on tap, because
naturally,
like I've been to breweries before. There's one down the road from us. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, but I went there. I found a beer that I liked. It was pretty good. My dad found a beer he liked pretty good. My uncle went there, and he fucking hated every single beer they had. All he wanted was a Miller Lite. He's like, why don't you have, one fucking domestic beer on tap? So if I don't like any of your shitty beers, I can have one. I can have something and drink here and have fun with my family,
Yeah.
But
because there is something for everyone, but not everything is for everyone.
Exactly. Some people just like domestic shit. Some people only drink Bud Light.
Yeah, and some people only shoot Glock.
Pounders.
For the same reason.
Pounders drinks warm Bud Light. He used to have a fucking case of beer next to his desk.
Or next to his chair.
Well, next to his chair, where he would grab a warm fucking Bud Light, crack it open, and drink it. There's people like that in the world. I like both. For the sake of the army, I like both equally.
But oh my god, that's kind of nasty.
I love me a mainstream beer, and I love me a craft beer. That's just me.
Yeah,
I'm big on both.
Fair enough. I guess we'll agree to disagree on this one.
Yep.
Echo did agree with me though.
No,
so
he didn't. He said, "I'm on the same team as Package. I'm on Team Package." His point before this one, where Brute rebutted by calling mainstream beer the dark side.
Yeah,
so therefore,
that's what he likes about mine.
He was on your side prior to that point, and then he was on my side. Not necessarily for my point.
You described your own side as the dark side.
Yeah, what's wrong with the Siths, man? All right. Hey, they all just...
I rest my case. Oh, shit. Oh! Speaking of cases, or packages, as it were.
A whackage one? You mean
You've got a package.
This?
From me, at long last. Your signs from previous episodes where you've lost the You Laugh, You Lose challenge. Oh, speaking of which, I never rehung my signs after my family left. I feel stupid.
You have not, and I want you to hang that noodle one behind you because that one is fucking cool. That's a cool ass sign.
The send nudes one?
Dude, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I bought that and I was like, that's a pretty clever sign. I'm not going to lie. It's an anime girl sitting in a ramen bowl and it says send nudes, like noodles, but also nudes. And I thought it was a pretty clever sign. I'm not going to lie.
This one.
That's a cool ass sign.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to hang this one up right next to my other one. This was the first one you This is the first one you bought me.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. No, I'm going to rehang these right behind me. But yeah, Jones, do we want to say goodbye to our listeners before you open those up?
I will. How about this? It looks like I have one in here.
Damn it. Where the hell's the other one?
I'll have to check the mail again. I don't know. It wasn't on the port. Let me go check the porch real quick.
Okay.
See if it came today.
You do that. And in the meantime, I'm going to hop on my Amazon and see if it says anything about whether or not it was delivered or not. For those of you who don't know, Jones and I, we've been doing this thing where the loser of our weekly You Laugh, You Lose challenge is given a sign of varying levels of risqueness to be displayed on the wall behind them while we do the podcast, as by way of giving us a reason to not want to lose the challenge, right? Some sort of punishment, as it were. Holy cow. Jones, the other one was delayed till March 3rd. Holy crap. But the one he got is awesome. Yeah. So, yeah. For our listeners, our actual podcast listeners, thank you for tuning in. Jones will shortly, once he gets back, he'll give a quick blurb about all the different platforms that we're on. We are on, I think, like 16 different podcast platforms that you can listen to us on. We are Double Feed Podcast, no caps, no spaces. If you guys want to submit feedback or things you would like us to do and or say and or see during our podcast, you can. We would love listener submissions to our website.
Yeah.
Which is doublefeedpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us funny videos that we'll watch in our You Laugh, You Lose portion. You can send us debate topics that you want to hear. You can send us Don't Get Me Started topics that you'd love to hear us talk about off the top of our head. You can send us literally anything you want. Just follow the topics that we post on the left side of the screen here. Anything you want to say, top 5 selections, categories. If you want to give us some suggestions for that, shoot us an email, or if you find us on YouTube, drop us a comment. And also let us know what you think about our debates and who you think won. And maybe did we change your mind, or at the very least, did we give you a couple new products to check out?
Speaking of products.
Speaking of products.
Another thing you can email us is Don't Get Me Started is going to be a card game here in the near future.
Oh, yeah.
We are at 70 something out of 108 topics. So if you have some funny topics for the game, send us those in an email too. I can't promise you get monetarily compensated, but we can put your @ handle of your Twitter, or we can do your @ on your Instagram, or your email, or your name, or whatever at the bottom of the card. And
the card might say submitted by
X person, right? So
Yeah.
that would be also cool. Now we are on Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Listen Notes, Podvine, Samsung Podcast, Amazon Music, Audible, Podcast Index, Google Podcasts, Pandora's, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Deezer, and that's it, because I can't figure out iTunes. So I don't know how to get an Apple. So all you Apple listeners, I'm sorry. I can't fucking figure it out. I don't have an Apple. I'm not an Apple guy. But before I send you guys away and we send you guys away, I'm going to explain what Oleary sent to me. So his laugh is fucking me up. Ooh, like that. We have a sign. Jesus Christ.
How would you describe this?
So all you listeners, right? This is a yaoi. In Japanese, it's a gay. It's a gay anime usually, and I have a dude here, pouring water with a blushing, on his chest and a towel with what looks like a chub, right?
It's definitely a chub.
And another guy blushing at that guy, who's looking at his dick.
What is he wearing? Is that a jock strap?
Those look like ass. This kind of looks like a jock strap, or like
it's an assless jock strap. Yeah,
assless jock strap. Who knows if there's actually anything there? Maybe it's just. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Jones, right above your head would be a perfect place for that.
Yeah, that one's gonna go up here.
No. Oh, that's a perfect place right there. Yeah, right there, so we can always see that guy in his ass.
That's my Bubba. My dog has to look at that shit all the time.
Oh my god,
you're gonna turn hilarious. My dog gay. Nothing wrong with it, but yeah. So for all you podcast listeners, go check out the YouTube. This sign.
That is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I found that.
Behind me.
That shit was expensive, dude.
And I will say
that thing was
I've been holding off on Oleary with these anime signs.
That was a $15 sign.
Yeah.
The other one that's coming was almost $20.
Damn.
That's gonna get delivered March 3rd. It's been shipped.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, for all you podcast listeners, we appreciate you guys.
Yes, thanks for stopping by.
Spread the word. Sorry it took a few weeks for us to get a video out, but the one before this has to do some editing because my stream stopped halfway through it, and my recording stopped halfway through it. So I gotta cut some stuff out for the audio and send it back up, or you'll have like 5 minutes of just no audio in the middle of it randomly. And then last week's we recorded. And it was good. It was a great podcast. Audio didn't record either, so
that was awkward.
This will be the official number 12. So go check
this
us out.
This is technically episode number 13. Yes. Technically, it's 13.
Technically, it's 14 because the first one
first one
it didn't transfer either. So
that's right. We were figuring this shit out kind of on the fly,
and we still are.
But
so
we
appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Now for you,
are you ready to watch some funny shit? I'm ready to watch some funny shit.
I am.
After watching your reaction to opening up that sign, and now that our giggle meter is now
that
up
shit
there now.
Is hilarious. Oh, I'm getting you something embarrassing next one. I've been nice.
That's assuming I lose.
Oh, I've been nice to you. Oh man. Are
the gloves coming off now?
Oh, the gloves are coming off. I got you that if assholes could fly over like some fucked up shit. So it's about to go down. I have to go sign all this shit, so.
Yeah. I went ahead and posted everything. The videos, all my submissions, they're in the general chat starting February 11. That's when I uploaded them.
Okay. If you want to give the listeners a segue.
Okay, so we're about to do our You Laugh, You Lose challenge, which is essentially Jones and I have scoured our various meme and GIF and video platforms of choice and have come up with a selection of videos that we found absolutely hilarious for the sole purpose of watching them together and trying to make the other person laugh. Now, we've kind of evolved the rules a bit as we've gone on. Originally, it was just no audible laughter. We could smile, but just nothing audible, which turned out to be too easy.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple episodes in a row where, you know, the score was like maybe like 1-0 or something like that because it was really easy. So then we had to kind of constrain it a little bit. So now it's no facial expressions or like no smiling or even the beginning of a smile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely harder now because once you start smiling, then it just kind of goes from there.
It's hard to
it's
hard to not just laugh. And we like to make little jokes and stuff. If we do make a joke, the other person laughs because of that joke, that is the point.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm just gonna do Instagram on this.
Yeah, Jonesy, I found some good ones. I think I've got some pretty funny ones.
Email is. I mean, sounding out is the best idea on the stream, so people can just go look up my fucking hack into my shit.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right, I need more time. The reason I was unable to just have this ready chat is because I used to have all the videos and everything open on my computer, and then my computer decided to just stop fucking working when we would do stuff.
How much of this are you doing on the Steam Deck now?
Well, the Steam Deck doesn't do... Oh, this? None of it. I can't.
Oh, okay. See, I thought the reason you got the Steam Deck was so that you can do more of this podcast stuff on the Steam Deck.
All the transitions?
Oh, I see. Like the slide transitions and stuff?
All the slide transitions, hiding our YouTube and all of that, and a couple other things I do on the Stream Deck, which is cool. I can do like noises and shit. I can do like voice mod. The voice mod I can't. You have to pay for that shit. I ain't paying for that.
Fair enough.
I am currently swapping everything over from Internet Explorer or fucking whatever because it.
You're using that?
Well, it just popped up randomly.
You just lost yourself.
And that's not very cash money.
Nope. So, not cash money at all.
And Oleary sent me a good amount of videos, so it's taking a second.
This is true. I had to make up for the fact that I didn't have very many last time.
Well, you got a couple days to get some more too, which is good.
True. Yeah.
Fuck all of that.
I've got the beer farts now, and they are horrendous.
Oh no.
It's bad. It's real bad.
Oh.
You know what else is going to be really bad is waking up in 4 hours.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That is
I have to get up at 5 in the morning, and it is 1:45 now.
It's 1:45?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's rough. All right, let me swap you over. Good thing we did this expedited thing, because that would have been another, 2 hours for us usually?
Something like that.
Or at least another hour. We'd probably still be in The debate.
We'd probably still be debating right now.
Yeah, at least, if not.
Mm.
All right.
Alrighty, good sir.
All right, chat. You guys ready? I gotta remember where I left off. I saved a lot of videos. We saw this one, right? The pickle one?
Yes.
Did we saw the fat one? And the tree one? And this one? We saw the husband calling? Okay.
Yes.
Saw that.
I don't know if we saw the hack squatting 6 plates.
We did not. This one's really funny.
All right, go ahead and send it. Does he fart? Because knowing you, he probably farts, and you found that hilarious.
Maybe.
Yeah, figures. Sound like an elephant. Much respect.
It's just funny the fact that it pushes him up that little extra, you know? He's like, "Arr!"
Mm-hmm. A little extra propellant there.
A little extra propellant.
All right,
anyone know how to pronounce this road? Does anyone know how to pronounce this road? Does
Nobody does that sometimes.
know how to pronounce this road? Does any
It's so close.
I'm gonna laugh at my own damn videos.
I know. I laugh at all mine too.
I came out guns blazing with that one because that noise that dog makes is hilarious.
Just let me out and let me shit. Or forget about it. Just let me shit my pants.
You lost the battle.
Just let me
At
out
that point, you
and
just
let
hang your
me
ass off the
shit.
back of the boat.
Just let me out and let me shit.
Forget about it. Just let me shit my pants.
Forget about it. Just let me shit my pants.
If you were just resigned to the fact, you
That
know.
girl's got priorities.
Okay, this one isn't so much funny as it is really kind of cool.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I've always wanted to do something like this. Watch this shit.
Hit the tree.
Literally snap the whole ass tree in half.
Well, that's a way to knock a tree down. Holy crap.
Right? See, not that funny. I thought that was really cool.
That
So
was sick.
I wanted to throw that one on there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get down those little boobs that I got now.
Inner crotch.
There's a specific exercise. It says you wrap it around here. Oh, no. Wait, the pants keep falling. You wrap it around there. You wrap it around your back, and you put your arms inverted, and it's supposed to help your chest area. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get down those little boobs that I got now.
That was really close.
There's a
That was
specific
really close.
exercise. It says you wrap it around.
Oh,
Chokes himself and then drops his pants.
that was a close
Maybe he's
one.
into that.
That was. Only our northern listeners will, or people who live in the north will appreciate this.
Her elbow, her right elbow, what? Right there.
Hope she makes up for it later.
He's probably not having kids. I hope they weren't expecting.
Have you ever?
Ready?
Kissed a rabbit in between the ears. Want to? Do you sell hot dogs? Cause you sure know how to make a wiener stand. Were you raised on a chicken farm? Cause you sure know how to raise a cock. Do you mix concrete for a living? Cause you're making me hard. I may be wasted, but this condom doesn't have to be. Have you ever kissed a rabbit in between the ears? Want to? Do you sell hot dogs? Cause you sure know how to make a wiener stand.
It's an igloo.
Were you raised?
Just the
That's expensive.
when he goes and it blows the condom up.
Mm-hmm. That's very clever.
It was funnier at 3 a.m. when I was exhausted.
That's fair.
To the Chevy Silverado experience. Welcome
and passenger.
to the Chevy Silverado experience.
It's a new update.
Where would you like to go today?
Nearest grocery store.
Okay, setting directions now.
You know how to get to the grocery store.
Just messing around with it.
Why is this so dramatic? It's like Stranger Things.
It's a new update. I haven't had a chance to mess with it, but check this out. Watch this.
Weight detection activated.
Scale in the seats.
Wait, did
Passenger weight 198 pounds.
that's not how much I weigh.
I mean, it's pretty
no,
accurate.
it's picking up on
Driver
you.
No.
weight 189 pounds.
That's right.
This isn't right.
That's
this is
right.
broken.
What are you carrying in
It's
here?
broken.
Jesus.
Attitude detected.
Attitude detected?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There is an attitude.
What kind of an
Tell
update
that
is
bitch to be cool.
Welcome Shane and passenger to the Chevy Silverado experience.
He pulled a
Oh, that bitch to be cool.
He pulled the Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction. Say, bitch, be cool.
Remember this one.
Where you going? Take a shit. Where you going?
I hate when they put the writing there.
It's a smart baby. That kid's almost ready for potty training.
All right, where's this one?
Almost.
This is 6.9 times.
441.
No.
Nice titties. Mind if I,
Look, see? It's all right.
Pet your puppy. Can I pet him?
Can I pet you?
No.
Nice titties. Mind if I,
Look.
Alright, put your seatbelt on.
What?
So you could be safe. Now strap up.
You don't strap up.
Yes, I do.
Then how's that morning?
Bruh.
Alright, put your seatbelt on.
What?
So you could be safe. Now strap up.
You don't strap up.
Yes, I do.
Then how's that morning?
Bruh.
That's gonna be a good woman. One day. All right, what's
Well done.
this one have any more?
Well done. No.
It's 98%.
98, 99,
Oh.
2137.
Ooh.
I thought the clown in the titties was gonna get you.
Well, there's no titties. It was 21 what?
37.
37.
يا هذي العماني
ايوه باين
ما تصك جسمك نزلها في الارض ايوه واحد يلا
Gotta blow a straw and keep the balloon from hitting you.
ثلاثة أربعة يا عم هاني
يلا
أيوة الأخيرة يا عم هاني
يلا
Babe. What? I told you to bring snow boots.
I don't have I don't have any. What do you want me to do?
Hold on, rewind it. Go back 10 seconds. There you go.
ايوه الاخيره يا عم هاني.
Nothing? Really?
It was close, but no cigar.
Did you hear about the 5 constipated men of the Bible?
No.
1, Cain. He wasn't able. Moses. He took 2 tablets. Balaam. He had trouble with his ass, and that's in the Bible. That is. Okay, and then King Solomon. He sat on the throne for 40 years. And finally, King David said no power in heaven or on earth could move him. Okay, I got it.
Don't put your hand over your face.
Thank you, Sister DePaul.
Wow. That's amazing.
I'm surprised that won't get you. I almost texted that to you one day.
That's hilarious.
Any more on this one?
No. Wow, that was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Good for her. All right, this one, 26 seconds.
Ooh.
Pinkie Pie, you're a genius. No, I'm not. I'm a chicken.
Door, if you're haunted,
No, I'm not. I'm a chicken. Pinkie Pie, you're a genius. No, I'm not. I'm a chicken.
I
She
think
could be
you
Rush Hour
missed.
3.
I think you missed one of my iFunny videos. Hold on, I'm going to resend it.
Okay. Very, very well.
You know what I think?
Okay, did you get it? It's
Yep.
in the general.
Fuck. Do it last. All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Hit it.
You know what I think? I think you're going to change the world someday.
No, I won't.
What? I think you're going to.
I'm evil.
Whoa.
I'll make everybody witches and bats and vampires.
This is the baby version of my troop.
Sassy like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I won't.
Okay, good.
No. I'm just joking. I'll never do that.
Good. You know what
Her
I think?
facial expressions are hilarious. It says
She
her kid.
literally looks just like my troop.
What?
Really?
I think you're going
Is
to.
this her
Yeah.
kid?
I'm evil.
Whoa.
I think this might be her.
Yeah. I'll make
Dude.
everybody witches and bats and vampires.
And make them all
She
sassy
has
like
a
you.
bright future in the theater.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I won't.
Okay, good.
No, no.
That kid's hilarious. And cute. All right, what do we got in 1999, 29?
That was the 26-second one.
Yep, that was it?
Just did that one. Yep, that was it.
I'll do this now. I'll do the
try not.
iFunny.
Oh no. Do this one last.
Okay.
All right, this one. 141.
Okay, I used to be so nervous about like eating out alone, but I just came here and got a chicken sandwich all on my own and I don't care. Judge me, judge me.
Loser.
You do the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
All on my own and I don't care. Judge me, judge me.
Loser.
Here's to that, man.
Mm. Whew. Okay, what else you got?
I'm gonna prank my dad.
Oh, I've seen this.
Oh, damn.
That's an old one. Gets crushed by the bottles.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh.
He got his own theme music.
What is that? Oh.
Ow.
What is
I
that?
think he was still invincible.
Oh.
I think that's the last time he decides to Naruto run anywhere. Oh,
All right.
heard that. I heard that.
All right.
Heard that.
Okay.
Absolutely, unequivocally. I heard that.
I guess. I'll take one. All right, what do we got next?
I think that was it. Then the new iFunny video.
I got one more here.
Oh.
Instant Regret had 2, I think. They were 545.
Yeah, that's right. I actually typed that one in the chat.
Ooh, shit!
I love how it was a collective ooh from everyone.
That was probably an IKEA table.
That was hilarious.
We got 559. We're just going to play this one.
How will you be hiding alive?
Hold on. That'll help.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
Hold on.
He got up like a beach seal.
He got beached like a beach seal. Let's watch that one more time.
Hold on. That'll help.
Hey, Dad. What's the difference between snowmen and snow women?
Snowmen and snow women?
Yeah.
Snowballs.
No.
It's easy. Snowball.
Well, we get a different one then.
Oh, that's awkward.
How'd you know?
Hey, Dad.
Ow. Why they gotta hump the pillow right there? That sound is hilarious.
Oh, wait, I forgot to play it to the end.
There's more? The splat.
How'd you know? You okay?
Totally missed his bed.
He just laid there.
That was it? Oh, yeah. He fully accepted that.
All right.
This was my last one.
I'm gonna have such a good day today! Fuck! I'm gonna have such a good day today! Fuck!
Is that going to be Uniform Harold?
Yeah, actually.
I'm gonna have such a good day today! Fuck!
Fuck!
I really thought that one was going to get you. So polite. Oh no! Don't do that.
Happiness?
Happy penis.
No, happiness.
Happy penis.
What? Happiness.
Yes.
What? Why is that the one that got me? Out of all of these, shit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not expecting that face.
well,
It caught me off guard.
yeah.
Damn it.
Anytime. I laughed so hard the other day to that.
If it wasn't for the face, it wouldn't have been funny, because my initial reaction was, stupid kid making a mess.
Look at that face.
Oh my god. Oh, that's funny.
Trey, just sit up straight. There, okay, no. Oh. No.
See, now I'm laughing.
Trey, just sit up straight. There, okay, no. Oh. No, we're not done.
Oh, shit. Okay, you're running away with this one.
Barely.
Oh, man.
Is. That's just a for us kind of thing.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. What's this one?
I'm just laughing now because fuck it. Well, what's the pizza
on
one?
the air.
We're quiet in restaurants, aren't we?
I'm gay.
Wait, listen to the mom.
We're quiet in restaurants, aren't we?
I'm gay.
Hold on, what's the newscaster one that you started?
Austin, you're on the air. Good morning. We're doing open phones.
Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks. Austin, you're on the air. Good morning. We're doing.
Thanks.
All right, that's it. I lost.
Well, I got 3 more.
Congratulations. You might as well save them for next week. Okay, let's do it. Why not? Since I'm already laughing. Might as well enjoy these. Why is it farts? Why is it farts?
There's a fart. There's like a whoop, like afterwards they suck the fart back into his asshole.
Yeah, it's like he's sucking it back in. Hell.
I got one more.
Oh man, that's great.
Did I do all? I haven't done these 3 yet.
What's baby's first words?
What? Where you going? I'm sorry. You pass gas? I can't pass gas.
It stinks. Oh, his face. Oh, that's funny.
And here's one last one for America. It's a Canadian crowd. And that's why I love hockey.
Kudos to that crowd.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
we are going to end on that.
We're going to end it.
I like it. because my phone's about to die, and tomorrow I'm gonna die because I'm gonna get literally maybe 4 hours of sleep. Maybe,
yes, you are.
Lucky.
You guys have a great one. Follow us on the 95 fucking platforms we're on. Remember to be a good person, or if you're not a good person, I don't know. Be whoever the fuck you want. You're a grown adult. Who cares? Thank you for listening, though.
We will catch y'all next week for our Baker's Dozen episode and the premiere of Devil's Advocate. It's going to be a good one.
See you guys later.